Oh, and what are you doing in this place, human? There is nothing here for you. Just an old, empty chapel with lots of dust, too. And looking at you, dressed up like that, and a white rose in your hands, well, I highly doubt that your spouse will arrive here. You have probably come to the wrong place. There's another church just down the hill. I would guess that's where you're supposed to be, all dressed up like that. Is that so? Are you absolutely sure this is the right place? That's strange, but, well, it's not like I don't want you here. Feel free to stay as much as you like, although this place can be quite unwelcoming. Why are you trembling? I mean, I'm sorry. Of course you would. You're talking to a ghost in an unfamiliar, unsettling place. What? Of course not. Why would you say that? I don't have the power to do something like that. I can't even leave this place. How do you think I would be able to drown someone? No, I didn't do that either. Like I just told you, I can't leave this chapel. Not for a single moment. No, not even to scare someone to death just for fun. Goodness, no. It's not my fault if a tree fell on someone's tent. Do I look like I have some sort of sharp, ghostly axe in my hands? My, talk about prejudice. Revenge? Oh no, why would I ever seek revenge? It's not your fault I passed away, and it surely isn't your fault that I'm still bound here even in my afterlife. I have no reason to seek revenge or anything. I just linger here in this chapel that's been my home for some time. I stopped counting the moons after the 10th one had passed. It's been ever so long, and all by myself. Listen, if you've come here just to accuse me of all the accidents happening in town, just please leave this place. You're most likely here by mistake anyway, so farewell, human. I said farewell, human. Why aren't you leaving? I thought you were scared of being here. I could see it just by looking at your face. I told you I'm not responsible for any of those things. If someone drowned in the river, they probably just fell in and didn't know how to swim. If another person's heart stopped right away with no apparent reason, they probably just had some sort of illness. And if a tree fell on someone, let me guess, was it raining that day, with lots of thunder? I thought so. Just connect the dots. Those were all unfortunate accidents, and I don't have anything to do with it. What? Yes, I did say I've been staying here all by myself. Why? Huh? No, I I haven't met anyone. Not before you, anyway. Was I supposed to? Was I supposed to? You know, it's usually the opposite. It's people that don't see me. I can see humans pretty well, and I assure you no one has come here except for you. Is that so? Well, that's a bit unexpected. There was a series of unfortunate coincidences, and they had to blame me. So all of the people who died were supposed to be married soon. Of course, blaming some sort of entity would make them feel better, but as I told you, I didn't do anything. It is quite funny to find out that they kept sending humans here to marry me as a way of begging for me to stop doing things I haven't even done, and that not one of those who were sent showed up. Well, I'm glad to see that your skin has at least turned back to its normal color. You looked paler than me at first, and it takes a lot to reach that level. Need to sit down, maybe, for a little while anyway. Let me just brush some of this dust off of the bench. I usually don't care myself, I can ignore it and just stay in my ethereal form, but I don't want your beautiful wedding clothes to get dirty. No more than they already are after simply entering this place anyway. There you go. Yes, you really are the first human I've met in a long time. I've been living here, well, maybe living is not exactly the right word. I've been lingering here for some time now, since the day I was supposed to get married. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to celebrate that day. Well, there was an uninvited guest. Someone who took my lover's life first, and with the same knife that slit their throat, they ended mine as well. They were probably a jealous ex who didn't accept our wedding. I'm not quite sure, I never saw their face. It's okay, human. It's all in the past now. The one who murdered us should be behind bars, and my past lover is, well, not in this world anymore. Not even as a ghost. I'm glad that they were able to move on and leave their past life behind. I couldn't do it, though. I'm stuck here. Probably because before dying, they managed to tell me their vows, but I didn't get the chance to say mine. Those words remain unspoken, and I have no one to tell them to anymore. Before we could even say I do and exchange our kiss, death has parted us. Oh, it's a sad story, but it's one I can't do much about. I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be able to leave. But what about you? Is there a reason why the town chose you as the sacrificial spouse? Oh, really? What a brave and kind human you are, volunteering to marry a ghost to save the town. Especially after seeing that those who were supposed to come here in your place never returned back home. Gosh, they might all be rather upset when they'll have found out that this whole fake marriage thing was useless from the very beginning. Well, if that's the reason you're here, you might as well go back and tell them not to worry about me. I'm just a lost soul, waiting for the day they will be able to leave this mortal realm once and for all. No, I don't think I'll reunite with them if I manage to leave. As I told you, they moved on. The love that we shared is in the past now. I would love to leave this place too, but alas. Are you trying to hit on a ghost, you adorable human? That's quite a big smile on your face after hearing that. Well, you did say you volunteered to come. Do you really like ghosts that much? Maybe, that embarrassed look says more than your mouth would. I don't mind some company, honestly, but I don't think you should stay here much longer. You have a life outside of this old church. Oh, that's unfortunate. I I didn't know. It seems that I am not the only unlucky spouse here, then. I'm sorry for your loss, human. I suppose it rather makes sense now that you would volunteer to marry a ghost. I'm sorry, though, that I'm not the one you were looking for. Yes, well, that's the reason why I linger here, I suppose. The only difference between me and my past lover is that they said their vows while I wasn't able. That could be an idea, but I don't know if it'll work. That is true, though. If kind of celebrating the wedding again could allow me to move on, I would finally be free, and the town would be happy too. And even if I am not the one you were supposed to marry, well, if this can help your grieving heart in some way too, then we can try. It's quite unusual for a human to marry a ghost, but you're right. That is pretty much the reason why you're here, isn't it? Well then, even with no one to watch, no one to celebrate, and no time to write any vows, I'll improvise. It's strange talking about love when we've only known each other for a few minutes, but if this marriage can ease our pain and bring some kind of love to our lives, then so be it. I'll be happy to marry you. Of course you can go first. Oh, human, your words fill my soul with joy. If I still had tears to shed, you'd probably see me crying right now. It's been so long since I heard such beautiful words. And, well, I can tell that your vow isn't the one you wrote for your past loved one. Unless, well, they were a ghost you had just met too. It really makes me happy. Thank you. Let me tell you my vow too. It's been a long time since I last drew breath, and I barely remember what it felt like to be alive. But with you, human, I know that even in my death, I'll feel a final spark of life again. I may not be the one you loved, but if you'll let me, I vow to become the one who will love you until the end. So this is my promise, to love you, to stand beside you through joy and sorrow. You chose me, even if I am not the one meant to stand by the altar with you. You chose my cold, lifeless self in a world full of beating hearts. For that, you deserve to be chosen too. I cannot offer you warmth, but I will give you all of my soul, which has never left this world. Today, tomorrow, and beyond. You know, human, even if this is not what I wrote back in the day, I am happy to have finally said these words. And of course, a promise is a promise, even if I am a ghost, even if what we have now cannot be called love, well, at least not yet, my vow is still to stay by your side. I I don't know if I can leave the chapel now. I mean, I could try, but it's not like I can go around as if I was still alive. Unless I could make myself visible to you and you alone. Well, if I could leave the chapel, that means I could leave this world too. But, as I told you, my promise is to stay by your side now. I'll just have to wait for you, so we can move on and leave this world behind together. And come closer. Do you mind if I just raise your chin a little bit? Mm. Now the promise is sealed. I'll stay with you, human, and nothing, not even death, will ever do us part. Of course, human. You can ask me anything. We're still strangers and we just got married. I'm sure there's a lot to ask each other. What is it? Oh, well, I don't remember exactly. There are many things I don't remember about my life anymore, and as more time passes, more things leave me, more memories about who I was, who I knew. My death, though, yes, that I can remember. Yes, it did hurt. Luckily, not for long. I felt an intense wave of pain, but after a few seconds I was on the ground, too tired to actually feel anything at all. I can't say it was a painless death, but it was quick and I didn't suffer over much. Yes, I'm relieved too. I mean, as much as I can be for parting sooner than I should have. When I woke up again, no one was here anymore. The blood had been cleaned up, the door was closed. There was only a white rose on the place where I'm sure my lifeless body fell when I died. The wound over my heart? But wait a moment. I don't think I told you where my wound was. How? How did you know that I got stabbed exactly there? That, that smile. You were...